Florida State defense has been stellar as expected as we start the second quarter here, Matt.
Yeah, we talked about their great team speed, and it showed up a bunch in this first quarter. Jordan Lynch he runs pretty well, and he's about a 4-5 guy. But I want you to watch Christian Jones, 6'4", 240 pounds, getting help from Smith over the top. Because they're able to handle their offensive line with their down four, these linebackers have been able to roam free. You see Williams coming back inside, Christian Jones again. They're able to use their great speed, and they've basically been untouched.
Lynch 8 carries for only 20 yards. 2nd and 8. And that was far beyond Martell Moore. He was covered by Xavier Rhodes.
At one point, Jordan Lynch, he's got to do something with his arm. They're not going to win the fight inside in the run game. His offensive line is going to get dominated by this defensive front. Jordan Lynch is going to have to use this arm, and they're going to have to dial up some throws. So on the outside, what Florida State's doing right now is they're locking them up man-to-man. And they're saying, we like our guys better than your guys. We think we win this matchup.
Athlete for athlete, they have. 3rd and 8. And that's off the hands of Moore as he tried to time that route. Lynch
it's a little high,
struggling a bit here, passing the ball, just 2 for 8 to start the night, as he will go over and have a chat with Rod Carey. New head coach, was the offensive coordinator.
Well, this is Martell Moore. Now, this ball is on him quick. You got to make this catch. I mean, it should have been put on him. It should have been down a little lower. But when you have the opportunity in this game, those are missed opportunities.
And Kenny Shaw secures it just beyond the 20. Noles offense and E.J. Manuel back out there, not far away from that great scene in South Beach when we come back. We welcome you back to the 2013 Discover Orange Bowl. Glad you're with us. Joe Tessitore alongside Matt Millen, and reporting from the field tonight, Maria Taylor. Beautiful scene over downtown Miami. We're here at Sun Life Stadium. Jordan Lynch trying to get some advice as to how to solve that Florida State defense. 3 3-and-outs. The only one that wasn't so far tonight for Lynch was the fake punt possession. And now quickly, Kelvin Benjamin able to get 13 yards there. He goes 6'5", 242 as a receiver. You talk about a matchup problem for the Huskies.
Well, and plus he can run, and so they're going to give him on the outside. Melvin gave him a lot of room, and they're just taking advantage of it. And because E.J. Manuel is not getting any pressure, and that's a cause for concern for this Husky defense. However, it's great for Manuel, man. He's throwing great.
And coming around here is Greg Dent, and look at how quickly Dent gets himself out near midfield.
They take anything. They're going to give this space, then Florida State's going to take it. And we talked about the speed, and it's certainly an advantage for Florida State. But at one point, if you're a Husky defender, you're going to have to be patient. And as the field shortens, that's when you can defend a little bit better.
They bring some pressure. It's picked up, but Manuel throws it to the outside of Benjamin. E.J. Manuel, who waited his turn behind future NFLer Christian Ponder. Well experienced in the postseason. Remember, Ponder had injuries a couple years ago, Chick-fil-A, so Manuel trying to become just the second quarterback to win 4 consecutive bowl games in college football history. Play action, and here's Pryor again. Lonnie Pryor with a spin move and a first down for Florida State.
So they give you speed, and then they also give you misdirection. So they start you running one way, and they bring him out the backside, and Pryor gets in the flat quick. Just dump it off underneath and let him run.
Remember, he had that 60-yard touchdown run earlier, showing that burst once he hit the sideline. That straight ahead speed. Florida State 9.6 yards per play. Play action now. Manuel. Kenny Shaw. He's tackled right away that time by Sean Evans.
Tess, one of the reasons why they're enjoying great protection is Manelik Watson, number 71, right here. He's the right tackle. Now, this is 100% man. This is an outstanding athlete, but he's a big man, 320 pounds, great movement, bends well. He's just raw. He's only played 16 games in his entire football career.
One of the most outrageous backstories you'll ever hear to becoming a starting linebacker in the Discover Orange Bowl. Starting lineman, excuse me, as Pryor comes up short. Manelik Watson, 6'6", 320, originally from Great Britain, was a JUCO transfer, but he came to the U.S. by way of playing college basketball at Marist in upstate New York, gave up hoops, tried heavyweight boxing for a moment. Florida State spotted him playing junior college football, brought him in. He's their starting right tackle. And to a man, almost every coach will tell you, may be the best athlete on the team. And he's just learning football. He's
just getting it. I mean, this guy has made huge strides in the last year, and he's a legit player.
3rd and 2. E.J. Manuel on 3rd and 2. He was pressured, was hit as he threw, and is that a completion? No. Kenny Shaw made a great play on it to try to get his hands underneath. The pressure came from Jimmy Ward, and Manuel couldn't get much on it.
And so they roll the dice. Jay Neiman, the defensive coordinator, he brings Ward's a safety. They're bringing him off the edge, and he comes clean. Right in the back, hits him down low, which is nice and safe, but he forced that bad throw, and that will force this 50-yard field goal. And that's a good call by the official, who was right there. Side judge saw it perfectly, made the right call.
And Dustin Hopkins with a chance to make history. This a 50-yard attempt. And can you believe that? Hopkins, who's been so good from 50 plus, a ridiculous 5 for 5 this year, misses that. If he had hit it, he would have the most field goals in NCAA FBS career, more than anybody before. But you got to get it inside that post, not on it. Florida State's Dustin Hopkins had made 10 straight field goals coming into this Discover Orange Bowl. 50-yard miss moments ago. 7-3 Noles. Let's check in with Maria Taylor. Maria?
Here with Coach Dave Doran, and you're sitting here in the stands. How difficult it to not be in the sidelines with your team right now?
It's definitely different, I can tell you that. It's a lot of fun to cheer these guys on, though, but I haven't been in the stands in 17 years.
Well, how often have you been able to talk to them during this week, and what's been your message?
I've talked to them. I said go out there and play your hearts out. You know, everything they've done has got them to this point. Just be themselves, not flinch, and play together.
Jordan Lynch. That's incomplete. Unable to connect with Daniels. Maria?
Coach, you said that this team has a lot of character. They worked their way here. What do you believe is it going to take to get this offense back going so they can get ahead against Florida State?
They just got to be patient and continue to run the ball. They got to get a few passes going to loosen up Florida State's defense, but they will. Jordan will get it going.
What did you think about Coach Carey faking the punt on 4th down?
I loved it. I thought it was beautiful.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Maria, as Lynch has missed his last 6 pass attempts. Dave Doran accepted that North Carolina State job back on December 1st, less than 24 hours after winning the MAC title game. And then a day later, Northern Illinois would get their invite to the BCS, and Rod Carey would be promoted from offensive coordinator to head coach. You see the struggles on 3rd down tonight. 3rd and 10 here.
Yeah, if they don't slow down this pass rush, Bjorn Warner has been bringing major heat, and they've been able to just rush 4 and get pressure. Mario Edwards, the freshman on the other side, doing the same thing. They're dominating this line of scrimmage, and that's the difference.
Play clock was running down, and that ball is incomplete as Ron Brown was the intended target, but well covered by Ronald Darby, who many believe could be the next great one in the long history of Florida State defensive backs.
And so, Tess, even when you don't get pressure, and Lynch had time there, you have to be perfect because they're locking these receivers down. And every guy is walked up in man coverage, and they're tight. They're tight across the board.
Fourth time of 3 and out for Northern Illinois. Offense doesn't look quite the same as it did in MAC play. Ryan Neer on to punt again. Kenny Shaw back deep for the Noles. And it takes a Northern Illinois bounce. Let's check in with John Saunders in the studio. John.
Well, it's time for the AT&T All-America Player of the Year updates. And how about Manti Te'o of Notre Dame, definitely a nominee for the All-America Player of the Year. Finished #2 in the Heisman Trophy voting, the highest ever for a player exclusively playing defense. If you'd like to vote, text the word vote to 34763 from your mobile phone. Winner will be announced at Discover BCS National Championship. Back to Joe, Matt, and Maria.
Thank you, John. Manti Te'o and the Irish going to be coming here to South Florida tomorrow. All the coverage leading up to that Discover BCS National Championship game. Play action. E.J. Manuel going downfield and getting it complete to Rodney Smith. And Smith out past the 40-yard line.
They're trying to do, they've got, again, no rush whatsoever on the inside. Good protection for Manuel. He's able to scan the field, and the ball's where it has to be. Now, they're giving them a lot of room on the outside, and they're taking advantage of it, Tess.
And that'll look courtesy of the DirecTV Ultimate Picture Cam. Keep it on the ground here. And Devontae Freeman, a gain of 6 there. And you bring up Manti Te'o. Last time Notre Dame lost a game, it was to that man in the Noles Champs Bowl a year ago. Beat him 18-14.
And this is a better team now than they were a year ago. And the reason they're better is this young offensive line. And I mentioned young. All can return. I don't know if they all will, but all are capable. They should all come back. They need the experience, and they will be a dominant force next year.
2nd and 4. Another first down as he's able to get it to Rashad Greene. Greene was the star, had his breakout performance in that victory over Notre Dame a year ago in their bowl win. Just a sophomore, led the team in catches this year for Jimbo Fisher's offense.
That's fine on the outside, but none of that happens without what's going on the inside, Tess. This offensive line right now is taking the game over. They're opening holes in the inside, they're protecting. He's not getting touched. Manuel should have a field day.
Manuel. And he throws it there to the 30-yard line where it is incomplete. That was low intended for Greg Dent.
And the linesman had another good look at it. Came from underneath and he saw the ball all the way through. He gets his fingers underneath it. But see right there, it came through. That's a good job by the linesman. Very, very good job. Now the linesman is the guy who's at the line of scrimmage and his eyes go down. That's his secondary read. You see how it hit in there, and then he tried to cradle it back. But he saw it the whole way. I think that's a good call by the official.
The previous play was ruled an incompletion. It will be under review.
So they'll take a look. And we'll take a break. 7-3 Florida State. Jimbo Fisher looking on as moments ago Matt Moore and the SEC crew we have here confirmed an incomplete pass.
This is a good job by the line judge, Mike Shirey, and he sees it completely right there. The ball, he had his hands under it, but it got into his elbows, Tess. And then you can see this is another good shot of it. It hits the ground. Nope, that's from the side, not as good. but we had another shot where you could see it clearly, and a good call by the official.
Matt, Florida State 240 total yards to Northern Illinois 86. He had a 7-3 game.
Yeah, one play away from going the other way.
Devontae Freeman on 2nd and 10, and he is taken down in the backfield by Anthony Wells.
Good move on the inside by Wells. Able to get into that backfield, sets up this 3rd down, 3rd and long. Watch Wells. He just slips it right there. Really well done.
Florida State yet to convert on a 3rd down tonight. 0 for 4. Neither team has. Northern Illinois 0 for 6. This is a 3rd and 11. Can the defense come up with a stop again? And they do, as Kenny Shaw was the intended target that time. Pressure came against Manuel by Sean Progar.
Yeah, Progar came off that left side. That's a nice rush, and that's what they need more of. And Progar, number 95, and I said he's got, you can see him up top here, he's got some next level skills. He's not afraid to rush. He's getting the back on him, and he just powered him.
Vocal leader of that defense. Jason Beatty on the punt away. Angelo Sebastiano, return man, calling for the fair catch here. He does so inside the 10 at about the 7.5-yard line.
That's one of the things that we've watched here tonight is this Northern Illinois offensive line really not getting any push in the run game. The line of scrimmage does not move at all. And when that happens, I don't care who's running the football, whether it's Jordan Lynch or Adrian Peterson, you're not going to get any movement. You get no movement, you get no rush.
They had to replace 5 starters on the offensive line heading into the fall. Then they lost one of their best to injury. Rod Carey was the offensive line coach when the season started. Now the head coach. Here's Lynch now. Sprints to the near side, being chased down. Boy, was that dangerous. As Nick Moody had a play on the ball that time, but it falls harmlessly incomplete.
Telvin Smith made the play, and then Moody almost had the pick. Watch Smith just come from the inside out with that great speed. He tried to throw it away, but Moody almost had himself a pick.
Jordan Lynch has missed his last 8 pass attempts. And make it 9 as he was looking for Jason Shepler, the senior tight end. And now a 3rd and 10 and pin deep here.
Yeah, he's put a lot of mustard on his throws too, Tess. I mean, Jordan Lynch looks like he's letting all that energy out all at once, because his balls, every one of them, they've had a couple drops, but man, he's hadn't thrown with much touch here tonight.
Yet to convert a 3rd down. And Lynch, good athletic effort to Martell Moore. It'll depend on the spot.
I think he's short, Tess.
And it looks like they're going to mark him short, yes. But a tremendous effort by Moore just to get that foot down.
Nice job of coming back on the defender. Had great awareness also. Ooh, I don't know, that foot looked like it may have been.
Watch the ball, though. But that foot, you're right, Matt.
Yeah, you can
if
see
you look
right
at that foot
was.
that he planted, it looked like it was right on the line. Instead, the ball was marked short of that 18-yard line.
What we really have to see is where the ball is when he went out of bounds, because that's how they're going to mark it. They're going to mark where the ball was.
So the officials talking things over.
They're going to look at the position of the ball when he goes out of bounds.
The ruling on the field was a completion out of bounds. We will review the spot of that foul, of that out of bounds.
That's hard to see if he moved that ball forward. Here's another shot of it. Foot is down. It's to his left side. That's Ooh, that's close there, Tess.
It's a very good point by you, Matt, because his body is straight vertical. We know that the left foot is at the line to make. He brings the ball to his left hip, which is aligned with that left foot right there. Let's bring in Steve Shaw, who's the SEC's coordinator of officials, our rules expert. Steve, what are they looking at here?
So what the replay official is looking at right now, it's not where his feet are, it's where that ball goes out across the boundary. And he's got to have indisputable evidence that it is short of the line to gain, or that he would make the line to gain to overturn this call. So what we see right here, that ball, you know, you were talking about which hip it's on. It looks like it's behind where his foot is, but it's so very, very tight. Let's look at this one here. So where that ball is, I'm not sure that there's absolute indisputable evidence.
There's the toe print.
And the toe print's nice, but
Yeah,
we've got
it's where the
to
ball is.
Looks nice, doesn't it?
So the only way is if you can say where it aligns with that toe print. You got to look at the ball, and that's where you need the indisputable video evidence to prove it true. Thank you, Steve.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Northern Illinois is not charged with a timeout, as this was a booth-initiated review. Fourth down.
Now the play stands. That's different than the play being confirmed. The play standing means there was not indisputable video evidence to reverse the call. Basically, can't confirm the call correct, can't prove the call is wrong. So the play on the field stands, that mark stands, and thus Ryan Neer is on to punt away to Kenny Shaw. Shaw comes up to make that at the 48. Now there is a flag down back at the 12-yard line where you saw Florida State rushmen coming after Neer there. You know, new rule college football. Defenders can no longer try to jump over a punt shield blockers, or they'll be flagged for a personal foul. Let's see if that's what they came up with here. That's a new rule in college football this year.
You could go straight up, but you can't try to leap over them.
And that shield that's in front of Neer, that's what they're concerned with player safety. They do not want to see players trying to jump over the punt shield blockers, and that's when they will flag it.
There was no foul on the play.
That's a good non-call.
So they looked it over, and they say they're going to let that go.
Good non-call. This is a good officiating crew. They've been on this game all night. Now you're going to watch him. Now if he can go up, he can't launch himself over the top where he would be flipped. That was the danger, and they're putting themselves in bad position. So that, I think that's a good non-call.
So obviously great field position for Florida State, as it was the 5th 3-and-out.
And good
They
field
forced
position
upon
test.
Northern Illinois, and then the punt barely getting past midfield. And manual, play action, plenty of time. And out of the backfield, Lonnie Pryor, who is able to spin past midfield to the 47-yard line, tackled by Melvin.
And so Jay Neiman, the defensive coordinator for this Northern Illinois defense, is not changing. He's letting his guy, he's going to give him some room, and he's just being patient. And like you said, Tess, the Seminole team, they have dominated in terms of numbers, but they're just one play away from this thing being a different game.
2nd and 5. James Wilder Jr. And it'll be 3rd and about 2.5 here. And that's what Jay Neiman, the defensive coordinator, really wanted. He said, listen, we need to be decent enough on 1st and 2nd down to make sure that it doesn't end up being a long night for us. They need them in 3rd downs. But, you know, that offensive line of Florida State, such a big edge against that for Northern Illinois. Look at the size advantage, Matt.
Yeah, almost 50 pounds a guy, 55 pounds across the front. This is just a big physical group, and they've moved the line of scrimmage. So to counter that, Northern Illinois has gone to some movement, and when that happens, sometimes it's feast or famine. Sometimes you get them, sometimes they get you.
3rd and 3, and he's passing, and it's incomplete. So getting them to that 3rd down spot Works out.
I'll tell you what's been a nice little matchup on the outside. As Sean Progar against Menelik Watson on the outside. Progar working against Watson. Look at right here. Watson's got to get his hands up in his face and takes that helmet right off. Now, by rule, Progar has to stop right there. The helmet comes off. He's got to be able to stop. Now, this ball comes out. It's incomplete. Sets up a 4th down. But that's a nice little battle going on over there.
0 for 6 now is Florida State on 3rd downs. Jason Beatty back out there, and Sebastiano with his heels on the 10-yard line. And gets the fair catch at the 12. Just a 7-3 lead for E.J. Manuel and the Noles, frustrated after that last 3rd down.
The Discover Orange Bowl is brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Mas. Cadillac, the standard of the world. Coca-Cola Zero, real Coke taste and 0 calories. And Verizon, share the holidays with the Share Everything plan.
Northern Illinois enjoying the jet skiing just off of South Beach. Not that guy, though. Not Jordan Lynch, Matt. What did they say to us? He wasn't allowed. No jet skiing for the star quarterback. They didn't want to see anything happen to him.
Smart move by the Huskies.
And visions of him in an inflatable yellow tube with a rubber ducky, keeping him safe. That's not a safe place to be. All night long, it has been the Florida State front shutting him down. Vince Williams, Timmy Jernigan getting after him.
Yeah, and Williams ends up making the tackle, but the guy who made the play up there is up on the outside, just playing extremely well. He's been playing all night like this, is Bjorn Warner. Warner missed it. Williams is right there to take advantage of it.
And that was overthrown. Once again looking for Martell, but he's going to get the flag drawn here as Xavier Rhodes had coverage on Martell Moore.
Martell is the one guy who has the kind of speed that they think can win, but Xavier Rhodes has just blanketed him all night long. He has not gotten away from him at all.
Rod Carey said that Moore is the one guy that pro scouts will look at the most.
Pass interference. Defense number 27. 15-yard penalty. Automatic 1st down.
Northern Illinois will take anything they can get against this defense.
Tess, I'm a little surprised with all this tight man coverage that we're not seeing rubs or picks. We're just getting man-to-man stuff on the outside and letting them go. And at one point, you're going to have to scheme a little bit more. When you don't have the raw talent, you've got to start scheming things.
And what did Carey tell us the other day? He said, we have every pick play known to man in our offensive game plan against Florida State. Here they go with the screen. Akeem Daniels, and Daniels has 1st down yardage out to the 40-yard line.
Tess, you want to know something? This is kind of weird. Now I'm going to go with hurry up. But I think they've taken the worst of it. I think you're starting to see a little bit of confidence breeding here in this Husky offense.
They go with the bunch formation to the near side, give one look to the screen, and then Lynch takes it. They've been bunching up those receivers in the empty sets.
When you do bunch, when you stack guys, when you do motion and get guys behind, all you're trying to do is look for rubs and picks and bump off defenders underneath. Now they're spreading it out for Lynch to see the whole field, and then that will define who can come. The good news is for Florida State is they've been able to rush with just 4.
And Lynch thrown down immediately by Timmy Jernigan and Vince Williams again. Look at Jernigan. I mean, this kid's going to be something special down the road.
Yeah, they know that they're dominant right now. Jernigan on the inside is just throwing people around. You're going to watch him just come off the ball. They're just toying with people. That line of scrimmage is not moving, and the defensive line is dominating that front.
Need to get to midfield. 3rd and 8. Lynch met again and just thrown back by Christian Jones, Vince Williams, and Tyler Hunter.
These linebackers are enjoying an outstanding day here tonight. The reason, again, we go back to the defensive line. They have kept them completely clean. and now he looks down the field. There's nowhere to throw the ball. They've locked him down man to man, and then here come the backers. There's Williams, and then inside out, Christian Jones. Take a look on the outside. They're just taking coverage away. All man to man, safety over the top to help. No place to throw the football, and the backers clean them up.
Ryan Neer kicking away again, and Shaw calls for the fair catch. Aerial coverage is provided by Goodyear. Tires that go the distance make Goodyear a fan favorite. Goodyear, more driven. Discover BCS National Championship. The Irish, the Tide, Notre Dame looking for their first national title since '88. And Alabama on track for its third title in 4 years. Coverage starts next Monday, 8 o'clock on ESPN. Devontae Freeman tackled in the backfield close to the 15-yard line by Jamal Bass. So #1 versus #2 right here on this field. All the history. Right? You just say Notre Dame and Alabama, and Matt, we've been here the past few days. You can feel it bubbling up in South Florida.
Yeah, the thing that I'm looking forward to, Tess, and Manti Te'o's a heck of a player, but the guys playing in front of him, that defensive line against the offensive line of Alabama, that's going to be one heck of a matchup. That big old Nix, that's a man.
Lewis Nix.
You better show up to block him.
Lines up the middle for the Irish. Here's Devontae Freeman in space, and Freeman lowers the shoulder out past the 40-yard line.
Looks like they may have had man coverage, and he got picked on the inside. Wasn't able to get there. You know, watch it right here. That's the guy who has a coverage. He loses him, runs back underneath, and once that happens, it's over. You have to jump your coverage right away. Jamal Bass wasn't able to. He had to run underneath the block, and that got him beat.
And now Manuel's going to pull it from Freeman's gut, and he gets to the 49-yard line. Coach's Trophy presented by Dr. Pepper. Of course, it'll be awarded next Monday night. Discover BCS National Championship game. 8 o'clock on ESPN right here on Sun Life Stadium. Going to be the 27th year the trophy will be presented to the national champion. We got this place primed and ready. Field is like a putting green down there. 2nd and 5, and that is complete to Rodney Smith. Smith from right here in Miami. 39 straight games with a catch now for Rodney Smith.
They're just being patient again. They're betting on the offense making a mistake. That's what this Northern Illinois defense is doing, because they are being extremely patient in their coverage. They're giving up the underneath. They're going to make the tackle, and as that field shrinks, those throwing lanes become tougher and tougher in windows to throw into.
Manuel with time, and he's got Kenny Shaw, and here come the Noles.
Here comes that offensive line protection. Nice job of protecting him. And because he has that time, he can let that thing develop to the middle of the field. They find that hole in the zone, but there's nobody around him to throw. Look at that thing. Good protection, O-line.
Over 300 yards of total offense now, and yet just a 4-point lead as they look to add to their cushion. Manuel. Look at the time he has. Finally a bit of pressure. And he's able to get it to Shaw, who planted those feet on the far sideline at about the 19-yard line.
Okay, so Tess, this is what I was talking about. All of a sudden, you're on the 25-yard line. That field shrinks. And so there's no threat of anything going deep. And so the windows and angles for throws, they change. The windows get smaller, the angles get tougher to throw, and Manuel has a tougher time finding. Because he can move and run, he buys time and finds a receiver. Great shot, a nice shrunk field right there.
2nd and 4, swings it to Kenny Shaw. Shaw makes one cut, but just wrapped up at the 6-yard line by Jimmy Ward. It'll be 1st and goal, Noles.
Yeah, see what they did there. They ran the corner off. Ward can't lose the edge. He's got to defend it outside in. And he gets there eventually, but not before they pick up this 1st and goal.
Here's Shaw again. And he stumbles his way inside the 5 as he was trying to extend himself. So 2nd and goal.
Ward got tackled by, I think, the 5 or 6 yard line. Reached up and grabbed them. That's been the best defense on that outside stuff. They don't have the speed to be able to get inside out. And so they're just taking that inside and dumping it on the outside. And they're forcing them to have to run to him. Ryan couldn't get there.
Devontae Freeman. And tackled for a loss that time by Rashad Melvin.
That's a good read by Melvin. He's out there on the corner, and as soon as he goes back inside, only 15 seconds left, they're going to take a timeout. As soon as he gets down inside, he reads it quickly, Tess. Big tackle in the backfield.
Check in with John Saunders, Florida State timeout.
Guys, coming up on the Buick Halftime Report, I'll be joined by Mark May and Lou Holtz as we will take a look back at the Outback, which went down to the wire. A tremendous battle in the Rose Bowl. A classic matchup between Pac-10 and Big Ten, and Georgia with a big win in a slugfest against Nebraska. Coming up on the Buick Halftime Report.
Look forward to it, John. 17 seconds they put on the clock here before the half, and we will visit with John, Lou, and Mark May. 7-3 in a game that Florida State has dominated with the exception of some key 3rd downs. And Northern Illinois rolling the dice and coming up on a fake punt, setting them up for a field goal. But both lines for Florida State have had their way, and yet just a 4-point margin as they look to add to it here. It'll be 3rd and goal.
And they have not been good on 3rd down. 3rd down in this first half has bitten them in the rear end.
0 for 6. We haven't had a 3rd down conversion in this game yet.
They're spreading them out.
Percentage, 70%. Here's your 3rd and goal.
Watch the quarterback throw. Nope. Could be a quarterback draw. The numbers are right for the inside. Now they have a back in there, so the numbers change.
Manuel to pass. To the end zone. Did he get it? Yes, they say Rashad Greene somehow got it in. Went up in the air and brought it down for the score.
Looks like he got his left foot in and his right foot was out. In, out. Good call by the official. Right on top of it again. Great job officiating.
Stabbing that left leg was Rashad Greene. Look at this.
Nice control. Has the ball all the way through. That's well done.
And finally, the payoff for the Noles offense. And Hopkins makes it 14-3. Discover Orange Bowl. Glad you're with us, Joe Tessitore. Matt Millen. Florida State line play has been far superior. You told me all week long that was the big concern. It's only 14-3. Northern Illinois comes second half. What has to happen and deal with that, though?
Well, I think a couple things. I think the first thing is when we talked to him this week, you heard Rod Carey talking about we're going to save something for the second half. And I wouldn't be surprised in the second half if you don't see more picks, some rubs, trying to get some inside guys open. They have not had any open receivers in the first half. They have locked them down man-to-man. I think that's the first thing. And then I think the second thing, you might see a little bit more aggressive calls in the blitz game for Northern Illinois. They'll use the field to their advantage. If it shrinks the field, you might see a little bit more pressure But their patience, although they're 3-1 in yardage tests, they're only down, you know, they're down here 11 points, so 2 scores.
E.J. Manuel. Look what he's already done tonight. 28 attempts in the first half, 242 yards, and moments ago that 6-yard touchdown toss to Rashad Greene. Jordan Lynch, not what he's used to. Been dominating opposing defenses as the leading rusher in the country among quarterbacks. And they're just going to squib it here, and an up man will take it and get it just beyond the 35-yard line. That was Boomer Mays. Florida State got things going with Lonnie Pryor as he showed off that speed, and then NIU, they didn't want the game getting away from them. They rolled the dice, converted with a 35-yard fake punt that set up the field goal. Dustin Hopkins, 50-yard attempt, was off the post. He was trying to make history with the most field goals in FBS history, and then moments ago, Greene going up and bringing it down. And Northern Illinois takes a knee. 14-3 at the half. Florida State, the ACC champs. For those who thought they weren't hungry for this one, trust us, they are. Here's Maria.
Coach, 328 yards of total offense, but just 2 scores. How do you improve execution in the second half?
Just finish in the red zone down there. We had a couple plays we could have made, we didn't make. We're moving the ball, we're doing what we want to do. We just got to be a little more consistent on offense. Get a couple things on special teams. They did a nice job with the fake, and we had a penalty there. We get cleaned up. Defense is doing a very nice job.
Yeah, defensively you hold it to only 111 yards. What's been working really for the defense?
I think we're keeping great leverage on the ball. We're not letting them out numbers in the box. We're beating our defensive lines, beating blocks up front, allowing us to cover down the field.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks, Maria. His defense is doing a job on Jordan Lynch. Just 12 carries for 24 yards for Jordan Lynch. 14-3, Noles on top. Now let's join John Saunders, Lou Holtz, and Mark May back in the studio for the Buick Halftime Report. Gentlemen.